All right, I got my fall pillows today. We decorated for fall. So hi everybody, I hope you had a great week. So this video, I just wanted to talk about like some of the things that I am actively working on. Again, I grew up, I was parentified. I didn't actually realize I was parentified. I am now in my 40s and it's all kind of coming together. I've had a lot of entries in therapy, right, where I'm trying to figure out, wait, like why do I do this? Why do I have these behaviors? I really want to learn and grow out of these things, but I need to know like what the source was, right? So I feel like therapy was really, really good at giving me those insights to tell me, okay, that's where it all came from. So starting with my people pleasing, I feel like that's a really big one for me. I go out of my way. I'm that person that if you ever need to get picked up from the airport, if you ever need anything, like just like no notice at all, just tell me and I will show up. I'm also one of those people that if you tell me there's an event going on, I'm like, I will be there. I will be there. Even though like I'm burnt out on my wit's end and I just can't fathom the idea of having to travel again or get ready or pack a bag, that it's like, I still do it, right? So what I've been working on with that is really trying to listen to my body, because I feel like for so many years it's been automatic, right? Like somebody asks you for something, yes, I'm there. Let's do it. What time, right? So what I'm doing now is somebody asks me for something, I will stop and listen to my body, which again, I've never really done that. I'm not somebody that usually listens to my feelings or even knows how to describe feelings. Like I have a journal right now that I'm working on because that's something that I want to start doing more of, is journaling. But I have a feelings wheel in there. And if you've never looked up a feelings wheel, I encourage you to do so, because you will be blown away. Because for me, like I always thought, okay, you're angry, you're sad, you're happy, like that's it, right? But if you look at that feelings wheel, there are so many different things to really pinpoint what you're actually feeling. So again, I'll get that question, right? Can you do this? Or, you know, hey, can you drive out? Because one of my cousins wanted me to go out to Tucson a few weekends ago, and I had, you know, work obligations. I had just so much on my plate at that point in time. And I remember when that question came up, I just viscerally, like in my stomach, I felt like this ball of just energy, and it was like, oh, and that gave me good insight, because then I'm thinking, okay, like you really kind of don't want to do this. Maybe it's because you have so many other obligations. Maybe you just don't have the energy, and that's okay. I think for me, following up with, you know, this is how you feel. It's okay to say no. That just is everything, right? So for me, that was a big one, right? Working on people pleasing, and that's what I'm doing. Again, listening to my body. How does it make me feel? And that will tell me viscerally, right? Do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? And then of course I just say, hey, you know, I really just don't have the energy. I'm sorry. You know, I'll catch you on the next one or whatever. And that's it. And you know, the feeling that I get when I know that I don't have that obligation is so nice, because for me, it's like, and you know, I always felt good saying yes, because you always feel good saying yes, right? So you're a yes person. Yeah, it's great. But then when you actually get to that point, and I'm an introvert too, right? So like the day of that event, you're like, why did I say yes to this? So I don't know, just getting more in tune with listening to myself. Again, something that I haven't done. Also, I think boundaries are super important, and that's something that I'm working on. I'm in a really healthy relationship right now. That wasn't always the case. I feel like I chose people, not always, but the majority of the relationships I've had, I've chosen people that just kind of, I don't know, there wasn't enough space for me, I guess is what I'll say, because they, you know, I was focusing on them, focusing on their issues, and there's an airplane. Okay, it's gone. But yes, so the relationships I was in, they just didn't hold enough space for me. So I feel like I could never, and I just didn't have the skills at that point in my life to say like, this is what I need, this is what I want, give me what I needed, give me what I want, right? I just didn't have the skills to be able to do that. So I found myself getting bulldozed time and time again, focusing on other people's needs before I even considered what I wanted or what I needed. And a lot of times, and this is an exercise I'm gonna do, I don't know if it's this next week or one of these weeks, I'm going to sit down and actually do this exercise, because I think it's gonna be really great. Because me at this point in my life, it sounds wild, but like I need to figure out what my perfect day looks like. What are the things that I would want to do? Like, what are my hobbies? Like I have a good idea, but I've never actually sat down and like really unpacked myself. Like all the things about me that I like. I know like my favorite movie, my favorite, you know, all of that. But when it comes to what I actually like to do if I have downtime. I don't have a lot of downtime. Like that's something that I really need to be held accountable for because I'm constantly running, you know, I have different things that I'm working on. So for me, it's like I'm always busy, but in those moments, and again, I'm trying to foster more of these moments of play. Not only just that, but also relaxation. I find that that is so hard for me. Like I don't know if you're in a similar situation where you just sit down and you think about all the other things that you could be doing. It's almost like you feel guilty for taking a breather, resting, you know, taking a nap. I never take naps. Like I'll tell you, and I went to Montana recently and I took a nap and I was like, whoa, like this is wild, right? So I think that is super important. Just making sure that you have, you know, and for me, really having these things written down that I'm like, okay, I'd like to do that. I'd like to do that. And again, it sounds so trivial, but if you were somebody that just for so many years, and it was decades for me, where I gave and gave and gave and was front and center for other people, and there was no space for me. So I didn't even cultivate my likes, my, you know, this or that, because there was just no time. There was no room for it. So now that I'm, again, in my 40s, so midlife here, trying to figure out, okay, like now that I'm in a good spot, I'm in a healthy relationship where I feel like I'm not, you know, overexerting myself, overextending myself. I met, you know, in the middle, which is something I haven't had within that last relationship that I was in. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. Like I feel like so much lighter now in my life because I know that I'm focusing on myself. And it's building my relationships around me. It's doing such good things. And even just inside myself, like that light feeling is something I've never felt. Like it's always felt heavy. It's always felt anxious. It's always felt like detrimental. Like it's just always been so heavy and so big. So that's definitely something I'm working on. Play, like I mentioned, I'm trying to start listening to my inner child, which if you shut off that voice, which I feel like my inner child, I don't even like, she's in there somewhere, but she's way down buried, right? So really trying to listen again and saying, hey, if you were talking to me through my voice of my inner child, what does that look like? What would she love to do? And I've, you know, broken out the colors. I have coloring books that I use. I went down a slide the other day. So I feel like that's a start, but I really need to make sure that that's consistent. Identity is really important. And my therapist, my most recent therapist, because I've gone through many iterations of this therapist, or therapy in general, but he asked me, who are you if you're not the responsible one, if you're not the one that does this, if you're not the one that does that, if you're not the, like, what is your identity outside of those things that you've had built as your identity for so long? So I'm working on that. Again, I can't say off the top of my head because I feel like I'm building it. I'm going to get all these pieces from different places and I'm going to say, this is me. Ultimately, like this is who I am. This is my identity, but this is my identity, right? Like this is who I am. I'm not just the responsible one. I'm not just the planner. I'm not just this. Like I'm this person outside of that. And that I don't know what that looks like right now. And again, I'm in my 40s, so it's a little embarrassing to say that, but that's what this work is. And I can't imagine being at a place that I'm like, I can just tell you, right? Because I'm not quite there yet. But yeah, I'd like to be able to just, this is me, right? And I just don't have that identity quite yet, but we will get there. As far as other things that I'm working on, definitely making sure that I give myself, I have a lot of like imposter syndrome, I feel like, in different avenues of my life, more so like professionally, I would say. Like for me, going easy on myself, affirmations are really important. Like I do a lot of affirmations in my personal life, but also professionally, just because I feel like for me, it's just, it's, you know, and again, in my career, this is like probably my peak earning years, right? In my career, I've been at the same company for 20 years. So I feel like I've got it. Like there's no, you know, and then my therapist even said, he said, why would they keep assigning you things if you weren't worthy of them, right? So it's a lot of self-talk, and that's something that, again, I've had to really work on my whole life. I've been an anxious person since I was a kid, right? So that's definitely something that I am trying to work through. And just, you know, I heard something the other day which just blew my mind, and it's true, because the instances that I've had those situations happen, like you get anxious about things and you worry and you worry and you worry about them, But then ultimately when you get faced with that, whatever that is, and a lot of times it's not nearly as bad as you were thinking it would be, but once you get hit with that, you're able to handle it, right? Like your future self. So you have to put confidence in your future self to be able to say your future self will have the skills and they will be in the moment where they will be able to handle that. And I think that gives me some peace of mind and reassurance to say, right now I'm worried about it, but you know what? It's not going to happen for another 2 years, whatever, right? So my future self in 2 years will have more experience. We'll be able to tackle whatever that is. So that's been helpful. So I definitely wanted to share that. But yes, this is a constant, it's not something that I'm going to wake up in a week and I'm going to be healed, right? So this is an ongoing work, but I wanted to make this channel to be able to catalog what I'm doing. And then somehow like down the line, right, it's going to look different because I'm going to say, this is me. I've cultivated who I am and I have this identity that's not just being responsible and being the person that you call when you need help. Yeah, like who is that? So I'm asking myself that question because I got to figure that out. So that's what I'll be doing in the next few weeks. And I do want to have a video where I kind of walk through some of those questions because I think that would be interesting. But I will close out there. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I see you and you deserve all the good things.